your disagreements. I
I'm just
didn't
about to go
see
in. Oh,
if you tweeted at me. I
that's
didn't
okay.
see
Just
that.
listen
So
to my
just
stream.
let us know what your thoughts are on things.
Yeah, so I guess first,
Oh yeah, once again, okay, this is just my quick show moment, okay, before we start watching this. Guys, if you guys don't mind, please drop a like on the stream, okay? It really helps me out in the algorithm. And if not, you guys can always sub or do something or just watch, you know? That is also good, okay? If you want to go the extra length, just remember super chat or membership, donation, anything would help. Outside of that, you can always check out my sponsor, order.com/Foodshops, okay? It is 60 days full refund money back guarantee if you're not satisfied with the product. It is a cybersecurity data protection subscription service where they take down information from malicious websites for you. It's a VPN service. It also comes with an antivirus. It's very useful. Okay, everyone listen. Okay, they're probably biased towards me. Okay, but everyone who said they've used it, they liked it. Okay, so please consider supporting me by going to order.com/Foodshops in order to sign up today for a 2-week free trial. Okay, 2-week free trial. Remember, 60-day money back guarantee. Okay, and that is one of the best ways you can do to support me. Thank you. All right.
off, I do think that like the entire complaint from Ethan's lawyer was just a meme. I think that's what it was meant to be. You kept talking about how cringe it was. I agree. I think it was meant to be cringe. I think that's like part of why it's kind of funny. You might think that that's like not the place to be funny. Totally understand that like that position that's just kind of inappropriate. But there were a bunch of other things.
Oh yeah, after this, I have to tell you guys about a debate I had last night, okay? With Ryle Kittenhouse, all right, Jay Stokes' editor. It was fun, okay? I'll tell you guys all about it after this.
That like where the facts were just getting confused by a lot of people, like a lot. So I posted like a like 5-minute video just kind of like showing the takes and what was happening. But one of them is that Denims, everybody keeps comparing how much Denims was reacting to the Hassan nuke versus XQC. Denims is not being sued for her reaction to the Hassan nuke. Her reaction to the stream before the Hassan nuke is what he went over in his video, where she's just sitting there. She gets up and goes.
Oh no, I forgot that Pisco was a Hassan defender, dude. Pisco is literally a Hassan defender. Fuck me.
Bathroom, like
she is being sued. She's being sued for both.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be both because her statement about the like with her intent to replace him in the market.
From what I understand, it's a combination of both, right? It is the intention to do something, and it is the actual doing of it, right? That is malicious. Like, for example, and here's a good example, all right? Let's just say Hassan's orbiters stated their intention was to deprive Ethan Klein of his income, okay? But even then, they have made a full and transformative reaction. In that case, I don't see what's wrong with that, all right? So even though they have said, yeah, you know what? We don't want you guys to watch like Ethan Klein or whatever the fuck, right? But the fundamental thing at the end of it all is that they're still basically, I'm just saying it has to meet both of the conditions. That's what I'm saying, okay? It has to show the motivated reasoning and the actual carrying out of that reasoning, right? Yeah, that's why, maybe Ethan, with the help of his lawyer, like figures that it's probably a strong case, right? I say a First Amendment defender, he's defending Hassan by consequence of not trusting the Trump administration. Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure what Pisco's beliefs are. All I know is that he just defends Hassan. That's all I know, which is technically
that
correct.
is that I guess applies to the Hassan nuke and not the stream, but
We'll just talk about facts here. Facts are she's being.
Just to clarify, I actually like Pisco more than Tomfoolery. Okay, Tomfoolery, obviously, we have a bit of a history together, and at the same time of having a history together, Tom isn't exactly the most fair. Let's just put it like that. Okay. Pisco is more admirable. Okay.
Sued for her reaction to both, correct?
I don't know. That's the part, is that my understanding was that it was about her reaction to the stream, but he was taking her comments that applied to the Hassan nuke and using this as intent to replace him in the market.
I don't even think you should compare the two. I agree. But regardless, Tom is debating him here.
market
So whatever.
while reacting to the stream.
Hey yo, Lolly, Ugo, okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm okay. All right, sorry.
So when he went over her video on his video about this, he's showing her reacting to the stream, not to the Hassan nuke.
So one thing I'm going to do to figure this out is I'm just going to go to the.
What happened? Like, are you talking about between me and Tom? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, I can explain, but it's a long story.
To the prayer of relief. It says that first claim for relief against Denims. These are the allegations. They incorporate by reference the entire complaint. It states that the entity that's in charge, TEI, is the entity here, is the sole owner, sole of. They fucking typos everywhere. It says sole of the copyrights. So just to be clear, this complaint is dog shit because it wasn't fucking proofread, because it's formatted fucking shittily, because it's a meme, so it's dog shit. And that's just another example of it. They registered their copyright, that Denims accessed the countdown episode and the nuke, that they did not grant authorization or consent to exploit the content or the nuke, and that due to the Denims acts of copyright infringement, they have suffered damages for her infringement in the countdown episode and the nuke. And so now that I've read that from the first claim of relief, from the prayer of relief, or sorry, before the prayer of relief, but for the cause of action, will you agree, therefore, that you were wrong when you said, or when you supposed, that it wasn't about the nuke? She's also being sued for her reaction to the nuke, correct?
So I don't know if it's
yes
for
or no?
her no, I don't think that it's her reaction to the nuke, because as I said, I think that she has stated an intent to be a replacement within the market.
What is this?
Just because I didn't react to his stupid video, he had to make up that I did and put a video of me smoking weed over his stupid video to get attention. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about your video. Like, I don't know. I don't recall reacting to it. I don't believe that I reacted to it. I do not remember. I don't know. I may have been under the influence, but I do not recall reacting to it. Just because I didn't react.
Nah, bro. Instead of DUI, driving under influence, you have RUI, reacting under influence. Oh my god. Good one. Got your girl on RUI charges.
Hang on a second. She is H3 suing Denims for her copyright infringement of the nuke?
I think so, but I don't think it's for her reaction to it.
Okay,
I think it's for,
so were you wrong?
Market replacement.
She must be loaded trust fund baby. I mean, for her, to be fair, for her size, doesn't she get like over 1,000 concurrent viewers at a regular? At that size, yeah, she must make some good money, right? No.
Wait, no, but hang on a second. He is only suing Denims for copyright infringement, correct?
Yes, but these are different things.
Okay.
Like so when I said that you're comparing how much XQC is reacting to it versus how much she is reacting to it, that hers is a 4-hour VOD, XQC's is a 2-hour VOD. She does no? Am I misunderstanding this?
No, so you're misunderstanding. So there's a broader misunderstanding we'll get to in a second. But just to be clear about what he's suing her for, he's suing her.
She can spend it all. How expensive is weed?
Her for exactly one thing: copyright infringement, and that copyright infringement pertains to both the content nuke and the countdown episode, not just one or the other. And there's only one thing, and it's the same thing he's suing for both of those things: infringement. There's only one thing at issue, and the questions about market substitution, that has to do with fair use. But the underlying thing that he
Oh no.
They got him.
Oh no. Oh, you're back.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Oh shit. It effed again. All right. What I'm gonna do is,
just so you know, your first VOD, it ended. you
Yeah.
created a second VOD when you restarted stream. So when you were telling people to refresh,
Yeah.
they couldn't refresh. They had to X out and go to the new VOD.
Oh, okay. So here's a question: are you live right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people are seeing the conversation right now, and they're hearing it from your place, right?
Yes, I just started my live. Yeah. Like while
Okay,
we've been
cool.
talking.
So
Yeah.
this is what this is what I'll do. I'll I'll stop my stream in a second. And I'll tell my actually I think it's back up right now. Just we're back. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So where we just were, and the fact that it stopped the Discord, I think indicates to me that the internet's cutting out because of the temperature. So I just want to bring us back to where we were, which is he is suing Denims for infringement and only infringement as pertains the copyright that he holds in Countdown episode and the nuke. Correct?
Yeah, they're both
So
infringement.
you were incorrect.
Yes.
Yeah, so you were incorrect when you were like, you're misconstruing that, because he's not suing her for the nuke. That was wrong.
Okay, so when it comes to market replacement, I agree that like these are both fair use, but my point is that they're not both about how much you're reacting. I think her like content nuke is going to be fair use. I think it is. Like watching it, going over it, like she doubles the amount of time, the amount of runtime in her reaction, and is like, she is yes, she's pausing literally like every 30 seconds to a minute. I couldn't even find a spot where she went 3 minutes without pausing. So I think she's going to have like,
Bro, Denims is just pausing so then she can give her viewers time to come, okay?
fair use
Not everybody has like a pause button inside of Zenless, okay?
for the content nuke. But I don't, yeah, from everything that he said about it and from what I read in the complaint, it looked like he was saying that it was that yes, it was not transformative in the way that she reviewed the interview, and then she had a statement of intent to replace him in the market in the content nuke, but even the entire argument that the lawyer made almost made it sound like they're making an argument for the content nuke.
Pausing to make commentary, yeah, but like sorry, my bad. Has Denims actually paused to make any kind of substantial commentary other than obvious like filler?
Purely based off the intent stated, which obviously isn't enough to actually be infringement, just intent by itself.
Yeah, so I guess I want to step back again and say
She explicitly said to watch her to avoid giving him the views. Yeah, well, she did say that, okay? But again, like I said, if you state your intention was to prevent giving Ethan Klein the views, but then you still give meaningful commentary, I'm not entirely sure whether or not that is, yeah. But at the same time, like I said, she probably did both, right?
I just want to make sure we're agreeing that Denims is being sued for both the nuke and the interview, the Countdown episode, correct?
Yes.
I thought you said now I'm understanding you to be saying like, well, there's a different kind of analysis as pertains both, and maybe they're using her stated intention as pertains the nuke to kind of help bolster the case of infringement or preempt the argument of fair.
It's like this. It's like this. You declare to someone, "Oh, I'm going to kill this person," okay? But you don't make any plans. You don't actually go out and attempt anything, but you said, "Yeah, you know what? We're going to throw hands," and that's it, right? I'm obviously talking about Wintermute and Worm Slayers, all right? But if no one is actually going out and making like solid, concrete, kinds of steps that eventually leads up into into someone getting harmed, then obviously it's just someone saying something for the sake of something, right? Now with that being said, obviously, all right, if someone is starting to draft up plans, somebody is starting to take reasonable, ascertained public steps that would show that this person was serious about it, like i.e. buying a fucking plane ticket, right? trying Google searching this person's address, literally, right? Taking the plane itself, right? Like these are very reasonable steps, okay? Drafting up plans to commit first-degree murder is an action in of itself. That is the action, right? But yeah,
fair use when it comes to the count.
I think it's called conspiracy to commit first degree or something. Conspiracy to commit murder, which is like a real charge. Okay.
Down episode, and that's why that's included. Is that what you're arguing?
Yes, yeah, that is my understanding from.
I'm not. I don't know that I disagree.
Oh, by the way, this is why when people say that the argument of XQC and Asmongold also needs to be like sued or something for Ethan Klein to be consistent. The reason why that argument doesn't make sense is because they have not declared their intention to do so. And in addition, even drafting up dumb plans, because you're like, let's just say you're a person with Down syndrome and you really want to go out and kill this person. Even drafting up dumb plans shows that you're drafting up plans, right? Which is why the Casey Tron high excuse does not really work out, because even if you are high, even if you are under the influence or something, if you start drafting up plans to kill someone, you're still going to be, you could still be charged. So I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, whether or not you're under the influence, whether or not you're, I don't know, like even if your steps to take it isn't that much, even if you haven't done any kind of substantial like damage to the person. Let's just say a person went out to try and kill you, but they failed, right? Well, you still want to charge them, right? With attempted murder, because, well, in that specific case, the person still attempted to do something, right? Even if their attempt is stupid or they failed, it has, by the way, which has, again, in IRL happened before, okay? You still want to charge them, of course. So I guess, again, what Ethan needs to prove is that there has to be intention, steps of intention, and finally, there has to be actual, like, I don't know, concrete actions that they're taking, motivations, you know, he has to establish a story, right? So, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the uphill battle that he has to fight, right?
Agree with you. I don't know if I have strong opinions about what their intent is in including things. I certainly don't have a strong opinion on that.
Stuff was your Kyle Kalinske is here. You called yourself Kyle Kalinske? Shouldn't someone else call you Kyle Kalinske first?
But it also has nothing to do with any of my stated opinions or why I'm getting pushback, because for the sake of all of what I'm saying, I'm conceding and agreeing that there's probably at least some infringement here. And I've said that over and over. So none of that.
Oh, so, okay. So he actually believes, in the idea of like Denims and Co. actually fucking up, fucking it up, right? Like he actually believes that they're guilty to some degree, no?
Of why there's controversy into what I'm saying has to do with a question about whether or not it's infringement or not, because my agreement is, or so my opinion is that it probably is infringement. And so when you're,
I thought calling myself Crystal Ball might be a step too far. Do you have to be one of the two?
You're saying,
What?
well, you know, I'm misconstruing certain arguments or I'm applying something. It doesn't matter, because I've said that this is probably infringement. So it's not why people are mad at me, is because everyone can see me saying this is probably infringement. This is most likely infringement.
Yeah. So I have a couple of different points. The other one is that Ethan cut XQC out of context. One of the things that was brought up a number of times by you and a bunch of other people was that.
Wait, when did I say that Ethan cut XQC out of context?
I'm saying Ethan cut him out of context.
Oh, okay.
So you were talking about the fact that XQC straight up says, I don't care
Who the fuck is that person?
about copyright or whether or not it's illegal, right? He just straight up says, I don't care whether or not it's illegal.
He has said that before. So I have an independent memory of him saying something to that effect multiple times. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I happen to think it's my okay.
He does
So
say it,
what
but
is wrong about that?
there's extra context right after that I think totally changes it, and is my argument when it comes to a lot of these things, is that he's stating it's not stealing unless the owner says it's stealing. That like the cops aren't just going to come after you just because you didn't react hard enough or something. It's stealing when the person who owns the content, who owns the IP, says it's stealing. So just the same as somebody goes into my shed and takes my lawnmower and puts it back afterwards. If I like that person and we're friendly, I don't really care. I'm not going to say anything. If it's somebody down the road that I don't like and they take my lawnmower, I'm calling the cops. They both did the same exact thing, but I decide when it's stealing.
I saw you fangirling over our best lefty power couple. Yeah, they are together retarded or they are together unstoppable, okay? But either way, okay, OTP. Yes, Kalkalinsky and Crystal Ball is my OTP, all right?
As a statement of law, that's not correct, and also doesn't matter for any of my points. So I grant to you that he said that. Number one, he's wrong about that, right? Like whether or not someone cares to sue me or afterwards ratifies the what was done or the reaction doesn't bear on whether at the moment it's done it is infringement or theft in the case of the example that you're trying to provide. Like if I go and steal a lawnmower from your place without permission, without any kind of implied relationship there, anything, right? I just go and steal a lawnmower and or take it and bring it back and use it as though it were my own. Whatever the problem is there, it could be conversion or some other tort. I don't know if you're not maybe trying to permanently deprive you. So whatever the tort is there occurred.
So in this lawnmower example, is the lawnmower Ethan Klein's nuke video, like Ethan Klein's content?
Regardless of the fact that afterwards you ratified that action, at the time that you're depriving me of possession, or in this case infringing, the infringement occurs. Now, carve out if there's an implied relationship or some kind of license, an implied license, or even an explicit license. That's not what we're talking about. So just number one, overall, XQC is wrong about that. And number two, that doesn't contradict anything I've said or anything anyone's talking about.
Okay, I do think you used that argument a couple of times to say that like XQC was a greater a threat to IP, and then that takes me to the last one, which is that he is also a greater threat to people like Sony and Disney stepping in.
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. What I said is XQC in the terms of malicious from a legal perspective. I understand that Ethan may be using the term malicious to mean intentional siphoning of his specific work, and so he's using it not as a legal term of art. So, and I've recognized that in my video, and I've recognized this entire time. So there's zero equivocation on my part with the use of that term. I'm conscious of that words can be used in different ways, and I'm conscious of a threat of equivocation. I'm not equivocating. So, my point is that XQC legally is malicious in the sense that he has reckless disregard for whether or not he's siphoning this revenue or whatever, right? He doesn't care about the law, but that's not to put him on all fours with Denham's and these other people.
Yeah, okay, so let's just say that XQC is actually grossly negligent, okay? And ignoring the fact that he is Canadian. Yo, that run animation is fucking cool as fuck. What the fuck? She's flying. Anyway, the point is that it doesn't really matter, because the thing is you're talking about grossly negligent versus stated malice, right? Right? Okay, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really say. I know where my limits lie when it comes to legal analysis, but that's my assumption, no?
In every respect, I recognize that Denham's and these other people probably have a greater, commonplace definition of the term malice. That is to say,
well, I mean, here's the thing. If you read up enough, maybe you can be confident about what you're talking about, right? Like if you've read up on the laws enough, right? But I'm just talking about from my layman perspective, okay? From my lack of knowledge perspective, I'm just telling you guys where, all right? Because anyone can learn enough law, like even without being a lawyer, to the point where you're not necessarily practicing yourself, but you are somebody who understands the main parts of an argument, right? Just because something is legal doesn't mean that, you know, it can't be analyzed by a person who isn't a lawyer.
They literally want to steal money from Ethan in that respect, and maybe the XQC doesn't have that. I do not dispute that at all. What I'm saying is, he says in his video that he doesn't want to chill XQC,
Yeah, but
even
no,
though
Tom,
XQC is
probably
an
not.
infringer. Maybe it's a less form of infringement in his opinion because it doesn't include that intentional taking away from his revenue or whatever. But he says he wants to protect the XQCs of the world, these infringers who don't give a fuck if they're siphoning revenue or not. And that, I think, is not consistent.
Did Ethan Klein say that? Did Ethan Klein say, hey, I want to protect the XQCs of the world? He did not say that, right? He didn't say that. He said, I don't mind XQC. I don't care about XQC. But he clearly still has problems with XQC, right? Like, why the fuck would they have that React debate in the first place? Like, that while ago, that made XQC do the worm, right? Like, what was the point of all that happening then? For nothing? What, was that for nothing? Yeah, I don't... Okay.
With the conduct
Was
here, or the
Reactgate,
actual
did
motivations of
Reactgate
what's
never
going on.
happen?
And especially when he says, I want to prevent Sony and Disney from setting a bad precedent and destroying the reaction community as we know it, they're much more likely to do that, all else equal, towards the bigger reactor. They don't give a fuck about whether you have good intent or bad intent. What they care about is the sort of market substitution effect and how much it's affecting their bottom line.
Okay, so Pisco is saying, in the world of law, they don't actually care about intent. That doesn't sound right to me. But who am I to question a lawyer? Am I right, guys?
Line, which is going to be largely influenced by the size of the infringer, not their mal motive.
So
Okay, so he's saying in the world of law, Pisco saying in the world of law, it's all about the magnitude of the violation, not about the intention of the violation. If I'm getting that correctly. I would love to hear what case laws Pisco has to dig up on this. Not world of law, but statutory copyright infringement. I mean, isn't that like world of law? Statutory copyright infringement is within the world of law, right? Strict liability, I believe, for copyright. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, who knows?
so I'll come back to the Sony part then, because I disagree with the part about XQC. I do think that it's maybe just a semantic issue here, but I would say that yes, it's not stealing until the person decides that it's stealing, and that there is a culture online where people, especially smaller creators, would want somebody like XQC to watch their video on his streams, even if he doesn't give them credit, even if he doesn't tag them in it or link them in it, that people are more likely to go look for them, find them, and then subscribe to their channel if they like it. And so there is a culture that is that almost that implied consent. And he's saying if they don't like it, they can go through YouTube and just say, I don't like this, it'll get taken down, that's that, and then we move on. But they decide when it is an infringement, and that 99% of the people don't ever decide that it's an infringement. Therefore, this is the culture of this implied consent already.
So I don't really care about that. He's wrong about that, right? So he's wrong. Like it isn't the fact that there's ever been the case that individuals have to like preemptively give XQC notice that it's not okay for infringement to not occur. So we don't have to take on his weird and distorted view of infringement. I'll give you tons of examples. Example one, where the person has no way of knowing whether XQC is infringing on the content, and it takes months and months for them to even be aware that XQC is infringing. You know, someone who doesn't want this to happen, it doesn't even want to happen the first time, right? And so I just don't accept.
Okay, so he's saying before an effect even takes effect, to the point where you prove the effect, maybe you can still get them. I don't fucking know, dude. Okay, at this point I'm clueless. Okay, Pisco, explain. All right, give it to me, Mr. Lawyer Man. Okay.
XUC's framework, and I also don't think it's relevant to what we're talking about here. The question is, what is Ethan's motivation? What is actually motivating Ethan? That's the essence of my critique is the following. Why is Ethan choosing to go after some people and not others? And what I take to be the disingenuous part is he is not going after denims and all to protect the React community. That is not what's happening. And if you don't agree, if you agree with that, then we have no disagreement that I can see.
Okay, so the reason that I was trying to get the XQC part out of the way is because
Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. I agree that I agree that Ethan Klein is being disingenuous there. Like, I'm not. Does anybody think that Ethan Klein genuinely wants to protect the React community? Can somebody confirm this for me? Like, do people actually believe Ethan Klein wants to protect the React community? Anybody?
I agree he's not doing that. I also don't think he ever said he was doing that. I don't think that ever happened.
All right. So let's be clear. We agree he's not doing that. So now the question is, did he put himself out as doing that? And the answer unequivocally to that answer is yes, he did.
Is yes, yeah.
Example number one. In his video, how he starts it, he talks generally about the problem of
Wait, yeah, that's fine. No one disagrees with this. Yes, he presents himself as a hero. Yeah, that's fine. Everyone agrees with. I don't know why the fuck he's saying this. Oh, okay, dude. Yeah, I don't know why he's
blatant infringement outside the context of intentional siphoning.
This is not where the disagreement
is. In the context of this YouTuber that he props up, I forget his name, where he gives that little neat graphic where someone reacts like a lot versus when they don't, and what's the problem, what's not the problem. He calls that situation an injustice. He calls XQC a prime suspect. And then he, about 3 or 4 minutes later, says, I want to get together and get some people behind me to promote a healthy environment. Otherwise, it could destroy the content community, reaction community
at large
as we know it. He then says that this is done in part to prevent Sony and Disney from setting bad precedent, and specifically that he does not want to chill XQC. And so all this taken in totality indisputably suggests that he is painting at least one of his significant motivations as protecting the commentary community, protecting the React community. Otherwise, why would he bring up Sony and Disney and the notion of setting bad precedent? Why?
Bro, I'm just gonna say it right now. The commentary community is fucking fine, okay? All right, in terms of like copyright reactions and whatever. I don't think the commentary community, like the commentary communities are actually pretty diligent in terms of like providing commentary whenever they react, okay? I'm gonna be honest. Like, dude, have you ever seen a Nicholas Diorio stream where he just like pauses every 5 seconds and he goes back like 5 times in a row or something? Bro, sometimes there's a such thing as too transformative, okay? There's a such thing as, oh my god, we've only made it 30 minutes in and it's been like 5 hours, okay? Like, fuck. Some people are too transformative. 12-hour VODs on two React videos. I know, okay? Like, sometimes people, like, I'm sorry, this is why I can't watch any of Nicholas Diorio's, like, fucking reacts, okay? I know some people are just there for the vibes. Some people are just there, you know, to vibe and be a part of the community or some shit. What the fuck is this? Yeah, I don't know, dude. To be honest. Move control point to adjust curve. Oh. Interesting. Alright. Pretty easy, right? Yeah.
Why would he talk?
I can't listen to him. He yaps too much. Yeah, at least you know that when I open my mouth, I'm saying something more substantial, right? Yeah.
About the risks to the commentary community as we know it, if you weren't trying to appeal to the possibility of an existential threat to that community. Explain that.
So I think these are separate things.
Also, you know what I also dislike about him? He also does this like fake laughter, like Nicholas Diorio. Like Nicholas Diorio also does like. Does he actually believe? Oh my god, dude, get me out, dude. It's not. He's not actually like even real laughing.
Statements. I think in one statement he is saying he personally does not want the outcome of his lawsuit to chill the React community. He is somebody who reacts to videos as well. He wouldn't want to hurt himself in this way either. But also, as a separate statement, because these statements are separated, then he also says that he has a fear that Sony and Disney could eventually come after people if this is like a slippery slope to where people are just kind of recklessly and maliciously replacing things in the market.
Wait a second. So I want to just, this is the quote.
Oh, like he would like sound hella gay about it too. He would be like, does he really think that he's like this? Oh my god, dude. I can't believe you would do that because I thought that a normal person would be like X and Y. Oh my god, I have to listen to it again. Oh my god, dude. Get me off of a Nicholas DeOrio stream. Get me out. Dude. Jesus Christ.
Though theoretically, I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars. So just to be clear, that is him suggesting that other creators are infringing, right? Not that they're doing fair use, because he couldn't rake in millions if they weren't infringing, right? So we're only talking about infringement here, okay? So he says the following: though theoretically, I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear, actually. The opposite. I hope that we can all
I don't even think Tom disagrees with this. Like, okay, Pisco's getting a little worked up. Okay,
unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes
us
us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it. That is a savior rationale. It's saying everyone, including, we need to bandy together to protect the XQCs of the world and the Asmongolds of the world. Otherwise, we'll all look bad.
Wait, is that literally what he said? Protect the Asmongold and the XQCs of the world, like in that video? Fuck, that's not how I remembered it, but I could be wrong.
And it could destroy the commentary community as we know it. That's a broader narrative, that this type of egregious behavior, if we don't band together, right? If we don't all band together to unite, it could destroy our community. Isn't that, and I'll just very simple, isn't that a savior rationale that speaks to him trying to achieve broader protection of the community?
I guess in a sense, I think he's just asking for like some consistent rationale between everybody to where they're all going to agree. This is bad. This is good. I'm on y'all's side. I don't want to chill all reaction content, but there is a type of reaction content that we should all agree crosses the line. And I think he's more so arguing in favor of himself. So, because currently there are tons of people in the reaction community. Hold on, let me finish this. Because people in the reaction community are currently going after him, saying that he is chilling the reaction community and he's ruining it. And I think he's trying to like prevent that ahead of time and try to make sure that they don't come after him and think that he's trying to stop all of this.
Okay, so let's take it step by step. Does Ethan agree that there's an existential risk to the commentary community?
Feels like Tom agrees but won't answer straight, and that's what I really dislike about Tom, okay? He will bite down on bullets that he will gladly, like, I don't know, agree on, but how often do you play piano? I don't right now, but I do know how to play piano though. But
I with the Sony and like Disney thing, I think that he thinks there's a slippery slope where this can get out of hand, but
well, no, but he says that this type of behavior, that is to say, the
right now, I just use my I listen. I use my piano as a convenient way to hold my clothes. Okay.
Denim style behavior, that this type of behavior could destroy the commentary community as we know it. So I'm asking you very directly, based on that statement, is Ethan describing a type of existential risk to the commentary community?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So he is partly painting his lawsuit in terms of protecting against an existential risk against the commentary community, correct?
His lawsuit, sure. I think it's more so their behavior is the existential threat. But yeah, it's their
Right.
behavior is
And
the
so he's trying
existential
to
threat.
right. Yeah. So their exactly. Their behavior is the type of egregious behavior that, quote, not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community. And so and I just want to get a very clear yes or no, he is saying that his lawsuit is done, at least in part, to prevent.
Yes, we don't disagree, Pisco. Oh my god. It literally, dude, what a fucking, oh my god. He needs to stop immediately. No one disagrees with this. Oh my god. Yes, we know Ethan Klein is doing this out of spite. Okay, like it's the most obvious thing ever. Okay, move on. What's the next point? Oh, you know what? I blame Tom as well, okay? Because if I was in Tom's position, I would say, yeah, we get he's doing this out of spite. What's your point? Yeah, I do think he's being disingenuous. What's your point?
This kind of egregious behavior.
And no one will ever say that oh, Ethan Klein is not doing this out of spite, because literally even people who are Ethan's hardest fans would say, yeah, Ethan is doing this out of spite. So I don't get who disagrees with anything that Pisco is saying. Other than him trying to maybe appeal to like Destiny's anti-fans or some shit. I don't know, dude. Like they really need a hero right now. Tom won't answer straight. That's why Pisco's hammering on this. Because Tom is a pathetic loser. Okay, all right. He has never answered straight on a point where he feels as though that he is right on, okay? Or convinced himself or deluded himself that he is correct on. And this has happened in the past as well, all right? He is not the person for this job. You should be able to bite down on bullets where you should be able to bite down bullets. But now if Tom does bite down on this bullet, now he's going to look bad because Pisco gets to say, well, why didn't you bite down on this bullet earlier? I don't know. If Tom said duh, it's spite, I think they'd move on. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Bro, Tom! You are a clown. Okay, you're a clown. Get me in. Get me in with Pisco. Okay, I'll debate him instead. Okay.
That, quote, could destroy the commentary community as we know it, correct?
No, I don't know where you're getting that part from. Like, again, like
Okay.
how
not?
Because I think he's just asking, again, I think he's just asking for everybody to be consistent on this and not blame him as though he is chilling the
That is not what Ethan Klein is saying. He's not asking everyone to be consistent. What the fuck? He is not doing that. What? By the way, I just want to say Tom is the only one that's making this argument, okay? No one else is making this argument. Tom does not represent the pro-Ethan side at large, okay? This is Tom being Tom, all right? Tom is just being his fucking autistic self, and he is trying to twist and turn the words into something that he believes in uniquely for whatever reason. Because trust me, if Ethan Klein wants to say he's doing this for consistency's sake, he would say he's doing this for consistency's sake. But do you know what the evidence says? The evidence says that Ethan Klein, during the video, he specifically said, I don't care about people saying that I am being hypocritical. I don't care. He literally said that verbatim. He says, I don't care if I'm being hypocritical. So I don't even know why the fuck Tom is trying to defend on this point. He is trying to fight a battle that Ethan Klein himself has never took on, but Tom has started himself. He's like the fucking, he's like the fucking Israel of, no, there's no equal, like, I don't think there's an equal analogy. Fuck me, dude.
commentary community, but he's saying for me
No, he's
and
saying
for
the
other
opposite. He's
people
saying
who have this
the opposite.
violation against them, they would want to
Just
act on
Tom
this
Tom.
and sue people who violate their content in this way.
Because and that's why he wants us all to unite, right? He's saying unite. He's saying unite. We should all be on the same page.
This convo should have been between you and Pisco. I'm being so frustrating. It would be fun, okay? It would be fun. Because I get to exasperatingly go, okay, Pisco, but who cares? I don't even think me and Pisco would disagree, because we both agree to some degree that denims have violated the law to some degree, right? Like we both would agree with that, right? This is what he said. I guess what we would disagree on is how good this lawsuit. I don't even know if we would disagree. Fuck me, dude. Never mind.
Here,
Yeah.
because when we go after these people, it's going to prevent the destruction of the commentary community, right? That's why he's saying
I would probably criticize Pisco for being maybe a little bit too protective of Hassan, but that's about it, honestly.
can all unite against this type of
Whatever.
egregious behavior. He wouldn't be saying that if it were just limited to himself and trying to reassure people. He's not just trying to wait, Tom, you agree with this? He's not just trying to, as you're trying to paint it, reassure people that his specific lawsuit isn't going to chill the community. He's actually doing something broader and saying there's a bigger risk here, and we all need to unite against this type of behavior to prevent the destruction of the community. Not just my lawsuit, right? It's his lawsuit is part of a culture that he's trying to promote against this type of egregious behavior for the purpose of preventing the destruction of the commentary community as we know it.
Yes,
Agreed?
that is what I'm saying. Yes,
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying, but that is very different than
that's
he
what
is
I'm
the
saying.
savior,
That's the
but
savior
more so that
rationale.
there is a consistent line that we should all agree.
I think it's pretty obvious he's trying to present himself as a savior, right? It's pretty obvious, no? Like, it's obvious he's trying to present himself as the person who will do it. Anyway, did you end up getting Vivian when she came out? Yeah, I did. But I didn't get her weapon, sadly. Yeah, I didn't have enough saved up. I'm the kind of person who just want to pull on everyone, so I just end up pulling on no one because I don't save ever, okay? I'm just the kind of person who never saves. All right? Yeah.
On. That's totally different than I'm here to save you, but instead we all agree on this, right? This is a line they did cross it, right?
He is trying to portray his lawsuit as protecting the commentary community, isn't he?
No, I think it's him saying that all
No?
people should agree that they would sue over something like this, and that like this isn't something that is supposed to go after a broad array of people. It is going after specific people who do this specifically.
Doesn't even
not
save
all
polls for
commentary
stream.
people.
I'm sorry. For the record, I have saved Woo polls for stream before. Okay, all right. This is why you should donate. All right, so then I can start pulling more on stream. Okay.
No, I understand the target here, right? That he's trying to portray is a more narrow target. I'm not disputing you that his target is, as he portrays it, is more narrow. All I'm saying, Tom, is he is portraying his lawsuit as a reaction, a justified reaction that's justified in part by protecting the commentary community. That is to say,
pulling on stream. What is that supposed to mean?
Say people in general need to unite against this style of behavior, this type of egregious behavior, for the purpose of making us not all look bad and making it so that the commentary community is not destroyed. So he's trying to say that this lawsuit is the opposite of trying to chill. This is what he says, right? I'm not trying to chill the reaction community into fear. The opposite. I'm trying to do the opposite. What's the opposite of trying to chill the reaction community? It's to promote the reaction community, right?
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah, well, he's saying he's part of that community, yeah.
He's saying...
By the way, I just want to say, I do disagree with the framing of, oh yeah, if Ethan Klein wasn't the one to do it, then Disney is going to do it and set a bad precedent. I don't agree with that, okay? Just mainly because I think that whether or not Ethan Klein does it or not, when Disney does it, it's going to be such a major event to the point where it's not like whether or not Ethan Klein wins or loses or does anything or sets kind of precedent. Like, it feels as though it's not going to be as impactful as people think it will be. So I think it might actually only do bad, maybe. But, you know, that's just the kind of way that I kind of think about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not trying to chill them. I'm trying to do the opposite, which is another way of protecting the community. He's trying to portray his lawsuit as not just vindicating his own rights, but as protecting the commentary community. Agreed?
I guess, again, I wouldn't say it that way. I think that is an odd way to say it because, again, it's like me. Okay, I do react content.
Anya, hey Foodshops, just want to say I love your commentary. I listen to you while I work. Have a nice night. I'm heading to bed now, but I'm glad I got to catch you live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, thanks for dropping in. All right, I'm pretty sure almost all my viewers listen to me while they work or while they're going to sleep or something. So I do appreciate that. Okay, I thought Lynn stopped watching my VODs or something, right? But I think Lynn at some point told me that she watches my VODs after. Even after I finish, right? So, yeah, I thought she became like a Mrao live watcher, but apparently she did not. Okay, so based. Well, she did, but like, she listens to my VOD, like the VOD of last night. So very based, very based.
Okay, I do a lot of like about I would say maybe half of my content is React content, and I am also going to sue people who are just stealing my content, just re-uploading it.
You know, sometimes what I sometimes forget that I have an entire audience that I don't get to see. Because I specifically stream at this time, there is an entire group of people that I never interact with, I never see, and I don't check the comments of during the daytime, all right? Because I only stream at nighttime. I'm most active at nighttime. So there is this entire like phantom audience of people that is just completely unbeknownst to me, you know? Very wild stuff, guys. So yeah, pretty wacky to think about. Oh, Ari, thank you so much for one gifted membership. I appreciate that, buddy. Guys, again, okay, if you guys want to show your support, memberships are always appreciated. True. Thank you so much, Ari. I appreciate that. I'm glad for you.
Oh my goodness.
Putting about 3 minutes of commentary in there
Hey,
with an
Ithra
hour
was
and a
just the
half
lucky
of
winner.
my fucking content just re-uploaded, right? And I would say make the same arguments, just saying like, yeah, this is something that like hurts all of us when people go past this line.
Also, hopefully, you guys enjoy watching Zenless combat in the background, okay? If you're wondering, Foodshops, how do you focus on something so intense and ADHD-like while focusing on doing commentary or something? All I can say is streamer brain, okay? Streamer brain. If I could play Night Ring, and if they had a pause button, or something, I would also be playing Night Ring on stream, okay? Trust me, solo, right? So yeah.
And start this
Easy
process
as
where
being.
we're having to like
I would say like there is Wuwa is Peem, Limbus Company is also Peem, all right. But yeah, Peem stuff, okay, Peem stuff. Like there's this entire subset of gacha games that feel like AAA games because of the amount of budget that they have or some shit. But yeah, ZZ was mindless when I played it, but I never got to max level. Peem Star, sure. Okay. Mindless. Yeah, it is kind of mindless, yeah. I mean, if you're playing the mini games or something, it's mindless. If you're trying to get like a high score on Deadly Assault, which is like the whole entire like timed kind of thing, yeah, whatever. Play Minecraft? Nah, it's too peaceful for me. I think Minecraft is too peaceful for me. I need something that is actually stimulates my nerve cells. Anyway.
to each other to take this down.
Right, and if you sue Tom, and
I
you
hate
said
the TV
this
thing
is
to break up
about
the flow, I agree.
preventing the existential threat to our community, and you would defend yourself, you say, I'm not trying to harm the commentary community, the opposite. I'm trying to protect us because this makes us all look bad. And so when I sue these people, it's to vindicate my rights, but it's also to protect the community. That's what he's suing here. And that's why, by the way, he starts with this broader concern from creators and saying this is about, this is an injustice every time it happens, with reference to that content creator, whoever he was. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make the argument that his lawsuit is doing the opposite of chilling, that it's actually protecting. It's protecting the commentary community. And that is why he says we all need to unite. He's trying to portray, and I think if you dispute this, I don't know if you.
I agree. Okay, again, I can agree that in a sense it is protecting in the fact that it is drawing the line.
Bro, we have been circling on this point for like 30 minutes to an hour now because tomfoolery, okay, the name implies his lack of IQ, all right, refuses to just say, yeah, I think Ethan Klein is being petty. Can we move on to the next point? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, okay? From any kind of viewer, it's very clear to me that Ethan Klein is being petty, but Tom just refuses to concede this point because he is a retard.
That he thinks should be there. I don't think that makes him.
Because my stance is that he's being petty, but it's not that big of a deal. But Tom wants to like defend on every point again, like a fucking retard.
The hero, but more so that a line being there is what protects us. That line is the thing that we should all agree on because it will protect us from disappearing.
Right. And what I'm doing right now is helping promote that line.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Yes. So that's
How do you lose a debate against Pisco, dude? This guy is like a lawyer with like fucking 2 years of lawyer experience. I'm kidding. Joking. I'm smack talking someone who is actually really smart, okay? Okay.
That's what I take to be the savior rationale.
Okay.
That this lawsuit is about protecting the commentary community by enforcing a standard on the commentary community. Agreed?
Okay, yeah. If you put it that way,
Please, please,
sure. I think
yeah,
it's a
okay.
semantic difference
Okay.
of the way that you would put it, but sure, yeah.
Leave the piss
I don't
alone.
think it's semantic difference.
Well,
think it's
because
a
in